So there is a lot going on right now with XRP behind the scenes between Ripple's recent acquisition of G Treasury and the fact that leveraged ETFs may be hitting the market. Things are lining up for the next major move in XRP's price. We're going to be breaking down what's going on with these leveraged ETFs, why they're going to be potentially really important, and also what is going on with the XRPL that everybody seems to be missing. This is a video if you're holding XRP you do not want to miss. So smash that like button to a brand new all-time high, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay ahead of this market. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So is a new era on the cards for XRP? You'll have seen many videos of people talking about XRP going to $1,000, $10,000, and I've always been in a world of saying, look, it's not about how big the price predictions can be now, it's about how big the fundamentals are that get us to that point. But there are more and more people now starting to become more optimistic about where XRP is going to go with their recent acquisition of G Treasury, which we broke down yesterday. This is actually a big move, and in fact, lots of crypto educators and people now on crypto Twitter are all talking about the potential of $1,000 XRP. Now, again, it's pretty unlikely given this stage in the market, but what's important here is that there is lots of things to do with G Treasury and how this plays out, and the news that, well, no one's talking about, leveraged ETFs and why they're going to be important. So let's just step back a little bit. XRP has finally stabilized after the dip, with early traders looking to retest that $2.40. Now, we're just slightly under it over the course of the last 24 hours, but finally, we seem to have some positive movement in the market. This ahead of potentially a listing of ETFs if we can get the government back open. But I want to focus a little bit on leveraged ETFs. And again, if you want to know more about G Treasury, I broke that down all in my video yesterday, so go and check that one out. But leveraged ETFs are a really interesting mechanic. They're traded on the day. We see this generally on the Qs, which is a much more stock market focused, up to around 3x. Now, there is an acquisition to do 5x and 3x leveraged ETFs when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and you best it, XRP. Now, just to give you some examples of where these trade, the ProShares Ultra Pro here on the Qs trades around $30 million in total assets and around 57 million in daily trading volume. So why then is it going to be important for XRP? And you may think, well, hold on a minute, but leverage is not good. We know right now that the US is over leveraged on everything. Margin debt's absolutely skyrocketing and people are looking for that next big move. Now think of this. When you get leveraged ETFs, a 1% move in the price ultimately gives you a 5% move on the leveraged ETFs. So if you are in a market where risk is now the new thing, these leveraged ETFs are going to be huge, and you're going to see massive institutional inflows coming into these with that potential to make it. You only have to look at Hyperliquid to understand how crazy some of this big money is. Think about it. Someone opened a $200 million short on the crypto market and lost 100 million. So think about these. When these come in, we're going to see absolute skyrocket in volume coming in. And I think these could be even bigger than what we see potentially on the Qs. Now you may think, well, okay, 2bit, who is going to buy these ETFs and why are you so bullish on them? Well, think of this. 35 million XRP is now on the Flare network as people bridge, stake, trade, borrow, compose, and the XRP FI begins. Now, this is from a standing start within the last couple of weeks. It shows people are desperate to utilize the potential of not only the XRPL, but what XRP can bring as well. It is now officially the biggest EVM DeFi ecosystem on XRP. Take a look at what is going on XRPL, 80 million in total value locked up, but there are some things behind this that a lot of people aren't talking about. For example, if you take a look at F assets, they're sitting around $103 million. And when you break down this, Thorchain DEX around 815,000. But look at this, Open Eden, $157 million of TVL sat on the XRPL. Very interesting. And guess what? Lots of these are increasing as well. So why is this important? And how does this all come together to, well, give us a potential move when it comes to XRP? You are going to get the ability to trade more aggressively when it comes to XRP. You're going to be able to trade not only just on standard ETFs, but a 3 and 5x leverage. And if you take, like I said, the total Qs market, it's a massive market where people want to do it. And the reality is that year to date, the Qs are running at 30% return. Could we see the same thing in XRP if we say the market still has more to go? And once again, this is where we're going to see some definite moves in this space. So if we can hold up in the market, next week could be pretty interesting as we wait for the ETFs to come in. And then, like we said, the filings of these leveraged ETFs, this all could play out perfectly with the fact that, well, guess what? You're going to have G Treasury, Hidden Road, Rail that we talked about as well, all pulling in the same direction. This could create the craziest FOMO when it comes to both XRP price and volume that's sitting there as well. So I think we're in for a pretty interesting couple of weeks. As long as the market sticks with us, I think XRP could be revisiting $3 very soon. Again, Not financial advice for this channel, just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, we're trying to break down what's going on, giving you some macros perspective on the market. Now, if you want to get ahead of the market, don't forget, we have a link in the description for the Crusader signals. Now, this is absolutely giving you the ability to understand when the market is telling you to buy, but the market is telling you to dump, etc. And this is a proven system that's working very, very well. You can get this on an annual or monthly basis. Link in the description if you want to improve your trading game. Definitely check out the Crusader signals. As always, link in the description. Right, with that being said, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.